snake charmer. This is the snake charmer. It actually, because, yeah, you have the natural snake charmer movement to it. Now move your hands closer together, doing that same motion. No, don't go over your head. Keep it in toward your face. Yeah, inside plane, inside plane. What I mean by inside is it's on the plane that's on the inside of your frame of your body. So I would say this is the outside of your frame above your head, but when it's between the top of your hand and here, I would call that still inside plane. Now separate it. Now come back in. Now separate it. Your inside plane. Now separate it. Your inside plane. Come back together. And then separate. Okay, so your left is weak. Let's just do a couple above and below. Just drill that for a second. Above, below. Yeah, that. Now come in. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Bring it in. Start in here. Yes. And then go above and below. Whichever direction you're working with, because you can do this in all four directions. Now bring it out. Now bring it back in. And don't look at it, look forward. And smile. Now bring it out. Now bring it in. That's the drill. Yeah. Your right hand is inside here, in the center. Or just keep doing it with your left if you want. And then move it out. Open it up. And bring it back in. And open it up. And bring it back in. And open it up. And bring it back in. Remember to keep going up and down. So I'm maintaining the corkscrew whether or not my arms are separated or together. Regardless of the distance, one is on top while the other one's on bottom. And I can move them like this, where it's a gradual movement from separated arms to together. Or I can do it as a single motion. You can take the same concept and add your in-turns and your anti-turns, right? Going from this to your horizontal buzzsaw, either this way or this way, whichever way. So the question is, do you have experience with horizontal buzzsaws? When you look down at the clock in front of you, if you look at it as a circle, is it going counterclockwise or clockwise? It should be going counterclockwise with the left on bottom. Or, sorry, counterclockwise with the left on top is what you were doing. Yeah, nice. And then all you do is pop this into your corkscrew and switch it so that the right is on top and the left is on bottom. Then you go back into your corkscrew and your left is on top. And back into your corkscrew and your right is on top. In the old days, we called this the triple layer cake. The layers were the buzzsaws with the corkscrew in the middle. And you're switching between one on top and the other on top. Now, if you are looking to tighten it up at all, one thing that can help with that is, so you said if it were vertical, and then I tipped it to the right, right? So if it's vertical, and you tipped it to the right, the left would be on top, and you'd be in counterclockwise. So you can play with this drill here, where what you're doing is gradually bending your plane from horizontal clockwise with the right on top to vertical overhand to horizontal counterclockwise with the left on top back to vertical. And you're just moving. All you do is just move between these buzzsaws from overhand, and then of course do the same thing from underhand. So then from underhand, if you tip it to the left, the right hand is on top in counterclockwise, and then you go back to vertical and underhand, and if you tip it to the right, it's in clockwise with the left on top. All you do is, if you're struggling with the two-handed drill, of course, the best thing to do is to start with the one-handed drill with your left hand if you're a righty, with your right hand if you're a lefty, or I should say, with your less dominant hand, because being a righty or lefty doesn't necessarily determine which one's dominant. If I were to start an overhand with my left, I would tip it down so that it's under the arm. And when it's under the arm, you lift the elbow up so that you make space for it. You also probably bend at the elbow a little bit to keep it closer to your body. Then you come back up to vertical. And then when you tip it so that it's on top of the arm, or you are vertical and you're tipping it to the left, you're going to lower the elbow down so that it's under your arm. Now, if you're trying to focus on maintaining your clean planes, where it's vertical, you might be pulling toward you in the overhand direction. When it's horizontal, it's a push and a pull in this horizontal plane versus a pull in the vertical plane. Right? So you're still pushing and pulling. And that's true whether it's under the arm or on top of the arm. And doing this plane shifting can be really useful to just learn each of these. Now this is the beginner drill where you're on top, between, and on bottom, right? But you could keep going, right? So now it's on the outside, and now it's going to come across the top. And now it's back on the inside. And now it's going underneath. Now it's going to come up on the outside, and now it's going to come up on the top, and now it's on the inside. Or you could go the other way, where you go to the left, then to the outside, then underneath, then to the inside. Over the top, to the outside on the left, underneath, to the inside. Because, we all want those crazy drills, right? Because that'll lead to doing things like this, which you may not feel a need to do today, but you might. That's opposite direction. We could do it in the same direction. Right, so instead of doing it on the inside plane, we can do it on the outside plane of the arm. Because it's poi and it's infinite. It's just two balls and some string. Like life, it's what you make it. You're only limited by your time, your physiology, and your creativity. Well, I guess, and your willingness to practice. If you're not willing to pick up your poi, you're only going to get so far.